Good day to everyone. I'm very honored to speak at the Paris conference this year in such a specific context. We are at a decisive moment for business and countries. For the past 6 months, our economies have been severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. After the shock of the first half of the year and the dramatic economic consequences of containment measures, the second half of the year is now being devoted to reconstruction plans. This is not just about repairing our economies and societies, it's much more about preparing for the future. National governments worldwide have adopted exceptional measures in an attempt to prevent economic and social collapse. The major geopolitical balances will be modified. States will be playing a new role, and business is viewing this new horizon with uncertainty over what to produce, how, and for whom. The recovery period will be a time of new foundations. Geopolitical blocs are back. Asia has become a major player prior to becoming the major one. The US are still in control and will not easily abandon their first place. Europe is realizing that it has to fight for its values, rules, and its model of social market economy. Climate change fight has never been more urgent. Things are improving on the political, business and financial side, but we are still far from a 2 degrees Celsius path. Energy transition will be key in the next 20 years. Climate change fight cannot be separated from another paramount challenge, social cohesion. This is a decisive moment for business, which are finding themselves suddenly responsible for ensuring recovery in all its economic and social aspects, but also resilience and independence of nations. The responsibility of corporates will be engaged in 3 areas: health, solidarity, and sovereignty. Confidence placed in corporates is at stake. Reconstruction must be an opportunity for a new deal between capital, corporates, and nations. We must turn our backs on a certain form of capitalism. We must encourage the development of a responsible capitalism where long-term capital is directly towards responsible corporates aligned with societal expectations and core values of the countries where they operate. The COVID crisis has validated and accelerated the evolution of capitalism and business based on purpose, or in French, raison d'être, at play for several years now. Purpose has become a key notion for corporates on both sides of the Atlantic prior to the crisis. In France and in Europe, we refer to raison d'être. Introducing purpose in business means that corporates not only mean to maximize returns for shareholders, whatever the environmental or social cost. Businesses must be in line with legal frameworks, but they have also to be consistent with social expectation and general interest. Debates around fiduciary duty in Europe and the US, the position taken by the US Business Roundtable in 2019, or the Loi Pacte in France also in 2019, are clear signs of this evolution. But purpose, because it requires economic and financial actors to be aligned with needs and values of society, does not exactly mean the same thing everywhere. It always refers to very general frameworks, such as the Principle for Responsible Investment, PRI, or the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, of the United Nations. It also refers to regional interests. The US Business Roundtable clearly stated that the US corporate had to contribute to US interests. And clearly, the European vision of a social market economy central to the European project is different from the US value. It's perfectly understandable that Europe should promote its own vision of society. In that context, I'm very happy to share with you a report, Responsible Capitalism, A Chance for Europe, just published by the French Institut Montaigne and by the Comité Médicis, a think tank dedicated to responsible investment and supported by Amundi. Jean-Dominique Sénard, chairman of the Renault Group, and myself directed this work. It's totally in line with the main issue of this conference, trust in business, and more specifically with this roundtable on purpose. Our report, Responsible Capitalism, an Opportunity for Europe, presents a set of measures designed to ensure growth and independence for European businesses and nations by creating the architecture of a capitalism that mobilizes the savings of Europeans and directs them towards responsible European businesses. These measures are all the more appropriate at a time when savings are plentiful and activity must be revived. These measures are intended to help European capitalism to evolve, to enable it to recover an identity that has been blurred by globalization and that reflects its demographic, economic, cultural, and social characteristics. This proposal of European responsible capitalism is also important for the world. I am convinced that the European model has some value recognized beyond our frontiers, and it is worthwhile to make sure there is an alternative to the American or the Chinese system available to anyone interested. And as the accountancy and prudential frameworks have been normalized in the past decades, extra-financial frameworks are now looked at very closely and entering a normalization process worldwide. We must be clear. These frameworks and rules will determine capitalism. We must fight for the right rules if we want a responsible capitalism. I will not enter into details, but maybe mention key proposals we make in our report. Encouraging long-term investment in Europe at a time when short-term capitalism is prevailing. To do that, we recommend to create a sovereign European pension fund, investing in the development of European infrastructures and responsible companies. Its government rules could be inspired by German and Swedish funds, joint or mutualist management. Another proposal is to increase employee shareholding and harmonize the rules concerning profit sharing and investment incentive schemes in Europe. Taking back control over accounting information, both financial and extra-financial, to align it with European value. We recommend taking back control over the principles that govern European accounting standards within IS and redefining a European accounting framework. We also propose to reform EFRAG so that it becomes more political and includes a European vision of ESG. ESG requirements based on the green and social taxonomy should become a condition for all national or European financial aid. Creating a common legal framework to support responsible European businesses. There we propose to encourage all European companies to adopt a purpose, a key element of their image in society, and of the definition of their commitment to common good. Last but not least, we should establish clear European guidelines and have European corporates subject to the same requirement in the area of corporate governance, remuneration of executive, of directors, tax policy, and due diligence on the entire supply chain. I now leave the floor to the distinguished panel you have gathered on this absolutely essential issue of purpose and responsibility. Thank you for your attention.